If you absolutely need to make $10,000 in the next 30 days, then watch this video and take some notes, because what I'm about to reveal right now is the secret method that makes me upwards of $1,000 per day in profit with my own consulting business. In fact, at the time I was making the script for this video, I made $500 and it wasn't even 7 AM. By the way, since it's probably the first time you and I meet, why should you listen to me? My name is Fred, and originally I come from the lower middle class. My father's a nurse, my mother a nursing assistant. Every day when I was a teen, I would hear them complaining about the price of food. So as you can see, it's not the story of your typical rich kid. And the reason why I'm telling you this is not to brag, because to be honest, I don't give a fuck about that. But rather, it's to show you what it's possible to be achieved when you put in the work and you never give up. Now to thank you, if you watch this video until the end and you share it with a friend, I will give away $10,000 when we get to 100,000 subs. So if you want to make $10,000 in 30 days or even less, the first thing you need to focus on is to sell the right thing. And by the right thing, what I mean is that you need to sell services or coaching. Please, as a beginner, forget about wanting to sell physical products. It makes sense when you're a veteran entrepreneur, you've at least made $1 million in your career. E-commerce can be a very profitable business model if you know how to do it right, but it's by no means a beginner-friendly business model. Get this through your head. When dropshipping gurus tell you they've made $100,000, okay, great, it sounds amazing on paper, but how much do they actually get to keep? Typically 10%, the average being between 5% to 20% on the high end. So 10% of $100,000 is only $10,000. So if you make $10,000 a year, it's not much. But if you were to sell services or consulting and you made $100,000 in a year, if you work by yourself with no team members, your profit margins can be as high as 98%, meaning you get to keep most of what you make. I mean, I'll tell you for a fact, I would much rather make $100,000 and keep $100,000 as opposed to making $300,000 but I only keep $30,000. I mean, what's the point? If anything, it's incredibly frustrating because you see all this revenue in your bank account on your Stripe dashboard, but then you don't even get to keep it, and you don't pay for anything: fancy travels, nice dinners, gifts for the people that you love, or even your rent with revenue. You pay it with profit after tax, what goes directly in your pocket. And you have to realize that nowadays, business models like dropshipping or Amazon FBA have an insanely thin success rate because it's an oversaturated market. Everybody is trying to resell the same crappy AliExpress products, and that is part of the reason why you need to sell services or coaching offers, because not only do you get to charge high ticket prices between $1,000 to $5,000 per client, but on top of that, you only need to sign a couple customers if you actually want to be making $10,000 per month, and most of it will be profit that goes directly in your pocket. So if you sold an offer for $1,000, you would only need 10 clients to be making $10,000 per month. If you sold your offer for $2,000, you would only need 5 customers to make $10,000 per month. So the difference is night and day. With dropshipping, if you sell a $50 shitty AliExpress product, you would need to convince hundreds of people to buy from you, and that's very difficult to do. In fact, back in 2019-2020, back when I was still a broke high school student, with one of my friends, we decided to try dropshipping because it was sold to us as the best business model for beginners, and we didn't even take the time to analyze the business model on a fundamental level and realize how flawed it was. And so for that reason, we only lost thousands of dollars, and we made one sale for $50. We ran into so many issues: not having enough money, Facebook ads blocking our ad accounts, manufacturers trying to steal products, people trying to claim for refunds like they pretended they never received the product but they did. So we had to deal with so many goddamn issues. And as a business owner, what you need to realize is that all the time that you spend trying to fix problems in your business, it's time that you cannot spend growing the business, putting the right systems and processes in place to keep scaling the business without requiring more work on your end. And there's nothing more horrible than waking up in the morning and you pray to God that your Facebook ads are still running, because Facebook ads is constantly banning you at the slightest thing. That is no way to run a business. And I don't know about you, but personally, the reason why I started a business in the first place was to upgrade the quality of my life and of the lives of the people I love. It wasn't to struggle more or to have more stress than necessary. But that's exactly why being a business owner is not made for everyone. That's why most people, they're fine with being employees. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's also plenty of people, they hate their jobs, they just work that job for the paycheck at the end of the month, but they want so much more. But lots of those people, they never even get started. They stay stuck in overthinking mode for the rest of their lives. And among the people who do get started, most people quit because they're not willing to do what it takes to become successful, or they just don't know how to do it. They haven't received the proper guidance, or they're not willing to get it. Now to help you, I've recorded a free video in which I'm going to share with you exactly what I do, everything step by step, to make upwards of $1,000 per day with my own consulting business. That way, you can literally just copy me. I will leave the link to it in the description below, or you can also directly apply to book a call with me or my team, and we'll see if we can help you to build your business. So if you really want to make $10,000 in 30 days or even less than that, that. You need to pick a painful problem that you can solve for people, because people are not gonna pay you just because you want to make money. Money is simply a tool we use to exchange value. If you give other people what they want, you will be paid in exchange. And the higher the perceived value of the product, or in this case the service that you offer, the higher the price tag that you can charge. I mean, what's the difference between a bundle of ginger, vanilla and alcohol and a $200 perfume? The bundle of ginger, vanilla and alcohol, it's never going to be sold for more than $20 at best. But the perfume, it's sold 10 times that price, because they're not selling you raw ingredients, they're selling you an outcome, which is to be more desirable. If you take a look at any good ad, they're never telling you about the functionalities of the product. They show you what it can do for you, how it can improve your life and fix your problems. Which is also why when you resell the same crappy overpriced AliExpress products as everybody else, not only do you struggle to get customers, but on top of that, you cannot command high ticket prices because you're not solving problems which are painful enough for people. If you're selling some kind of cool lamp or a fidget spinner, you're not actively fixing a painful problem for people. So that will really limit your ability to earn more money. And the reason why a brain surgeon is paid 100 times more than your average gardener is because the problems that they fix for people are much more powerful, they're much more painful, and so naturally they command a high ticket price. So now that you've identified a painful problem that you can solve for people, it's time to create an irresistible offer around it. Basically, the goal of your offer is to make people understand how it's going to benefit them. So for example, if you're in the fitness industry, this is what a great offer could look like. I help people to get in shape without having to sacrifice their favorite foods or spend hours in the gym. I mean, this offer looks amazing, because who wants to spend hours in the gym for no results, or have to follow restrictive diets and have to cut out all the foods that they love? But if you say that to your ideal customers, you will directly speak to their desires and their pain points. Now when that's done, you need to find a way to get your message in front of as many potential customers as humanly possible. Because really get this through your head, the reason why some people make $10 million, $100 million, it's not because they sell better products or services. In fact, a lot of those big competitors of yours, they sell subpar products, but the only reason they're able to make so much more money than you, it's because they get more visibility. They know how to get attention better than you do. And that is the secret of $100 million brands. They all leverage social media content. At some point, I had somebody comment on one of my videos, if you make $1,000 per day, why do you make content on YouTube? And upon reading this comment, I clearly saw this person is not a business owner. Because if they were, they would realize content is literally free advertising for businesses. Because not only do you get to attract your ideal customers to you for completely free, but on top of that, with platforms like YouTube or even TikTok to some degree, you will be paid per 1,000 views on your videos. And so you will literally be paid to acquire customers. We've never seen anything like it in the entire history of business. So if you can get paid to acquire customers, can you imagine how much wealth you can build off of this? Now when you make content, you need to follow some very specific rules, because the goal isn't just to post some content and hope it goes viral or just hope something will come out of it. You need to make content specifically for your ideal customers, because it's worthless to get millions of views if you're just going to get millions of views from unqualified people. I'd much rather speak to 1,000 qualified leads than to 1,000,000 unqualified ones. And I know this for a fact because in 2024 with my team, we conducted a small experiment. Across all social media platforms combined, we generated over 50 million views on short form content. And so after accomplishing this, I can tell you for a fact, the amount of views you get doesn't matter. What matters is the right viewers, because views, likes, comments, they're not cash in your bank account. We are business owners. The goal is not to be extremely famous, I mean, unless you really want that, and the goal is not to have millions upon millions of views if it doesn't translate into revenue and into customers. We make content as a form of free advertising. If you take a look at any ad, let's say on Facebook or YouTube, it's typically a video most of the time, or it can be a picture with some text, that's it. And when you go on YouTube or you go on Instagram and you see a reel, what is it? It's a video, a headline, and a text. It's literally an ad. But most people don't even see that, they're oblivious to it because they use social media to entertain themselves. But one day, I stumbled upon the following quote, and it not only changed my perspective, but also my life, and it allowed me to see a bank balance I had never seen before. And so what I realized is that producers make money while consumers spend money. Now you can't just be a producer, you need to consume just to live. You need a roof over your head, you need some water, some food, some clothes, and you need to learn from other people. So you can't just produce, but you want to have a ratio which is more skewed towards producing than consuming, because for most people it's the opposite. They spend all day playing video games, they spend all day watching Netflix, consuming content, and then they wonder why they're not making any money. Well, that's why, because the more you produce for other people, the more you'll get back in exchange. Remember what we said, money is simply a tool to exchange value. So the more value you can give to other people, the more money you're gonna make in exchange. I remember when I was a kid, at some point over dinner, my mother said, how come these big football stars are making millions and millions and millions of dollars? Because she was a nursing assistant and she was doing a very difficult, and in her case, a dangerous night job. And so she couldn't really understand how these big football stars were getting paid dozens of millions of dollars while she was getting a small pay for doing a very important work for society. And what I explained to her is that the reason why they make so much money, it's not because they provide so much value, it's because they provide a value to a huge amount of people, and that's why they're paid so much. Because if they were just entertaining 10 people, they would not have a net worth of $100 million or even above. But because they reach so many people, they get paid a lot. And that's why if you check on this channel at the time I'm making this video, we're posting around 2 videos per day, long form, because content for businesses is free advertising. And then in every single piece of content you release, you want to have a simple call to action. Ideally, you want a call to action in the middle of your video and then at the end of your video, which is exactly why if you are an ambitious individual and you want my help so you can build a profitable business and quit your 9-to-5 job, I invite you to check out the free resources in the description below or to directly apply to book a call with me or my team and we'll see if we can help you. So this is a call to action in example. And with that being said, I am waiting for you in the next one.